Okay, so last time I showed you the difference between just pulling with your arm and pulling with your lats. So just pull with your arm like this. Your body, the rest of your body isn't doing really anything. But for a much heavier weight, then you might start off by pulling with your lats like this. Or even just lat pulls is also a thing with a really heavy weight. And this difference between pulling with your arm and pulling with your lats is the key to everything in the disc golf throw. So, like I said, the theory is that there are two forms, and the two forms are based on this. Basically, whether or not you're pulling with your arm and your core, or you are pulling with your lats. And the next step is to convince you that this is true. So you need to convince yourself as well. So try this, what I'm talking about, on your own, and I think you will convince yourself if you're not convinced just from watching. So what does it look like to just pull through with the arm? Okay, so just pulling through with the arm versus pulling through with the lats. Now, what if we just keep pulling? Okay, just keep pulling with the arm and core. We're rotating like this. And our body is wanting to rotate on our toes. And we want to bend our knee. And the throw ends up looking like that. So if I'm going this direction, it's going to look like that. What does it look like when we pull with our lats and then we just keep pulling? What happens? Just keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. I hope at this point you notice the rotation on the heel. The leg is locked out. Ask yourself which of those looks like the professional disc golf throw. So from this side, going this direction, just pulling with the core, ends up rotating on the foot, on the toe, I mean, pulling with the lats the whole way through. Keep pulling. So again, which of those looks like the disc golf throw? And what is the difference between those two? Let me go back to this for just a second. Just pulling with the arm. Okay, nothing else is going on in the body. But when you start pulling with the lats, notice what goes on with the body. Pulling, something is going on with the foot you can see. So just from the video you can watch, you notice how these toes come up off the ground? The reason for that is because force is being driven down the leg and being driven into the heel and into the side right here on the front. That is kind of bracing against that pull that I'm doing with the lats. It's causing the hip to be pushed back. And this is what we see. This is what people call lag in the disc golf throw. It's really just the lats that are pulling and causing that separation between the lower body and the upper body. And so that's lag. And people really want to get that separation. They talk about it a lot. And what I'm showing you here is where it comes from. So hopefully, after seeing that and practicing it on your own, you can show yourself how vital this difference is. And again, this difference is everything, and I think it also shows you that there are two different types of throws that people can do. And it is based on this. The theory behind this, which I call the two-form theory, is that you also can't adjust the individual features like bracing, like where the foot is planted, to get to be able to brace. Also the power pocket. Those features that everybody really wants are simply features of throwing by pulling with the lats. So when you do this, force is going down into the heel, allowing you to be able to rotate while having a straight leg. Also, when your lats are engaged in that way, your arm is in the power pocket, you cannot collapse it against your body. It's not possible because the lats are keeping it up and in place. Whereas if you are throwing with your core and your arm muscles, there's nothing keeping your arm up here. There's nothing keeping your arm from collapsing across your body. So all of those things are actually just features of pulling with your lats. And to convince yourself of that, just pull and keep pulling, and just keep pulling, and just keep pulling. You'll see that you can do this very, very slowly. And that's the next step that I'd like you to work on, is to practice this. Get really good at it. Approach it like a Tai Chi exercise, where you're using your core, you're using your lats to go through this move. And you're doing it slowly as a way to build up balance and to build up build up the muscles, but also build up just the muscle memory of doing this. So do this right here. Do this, start off 3 times a day, and do 10, to start off with, just to get in the habit of it, do it 10 times, 3 times a day. Okay, so altogether 30 times. And we're just doing it slowly as a way to build up muscle memory. Okay. Eventually you'll be able to do it faster and faster, of course. But to begin with, we need to build up the muscle memory. So start off doing it as an exercise. Eventually, when you start to throw, and you start going a bit faster, you'll be able to then just add it in. Then you'll just be able to do the throw normally. But to begin with, just do it really slow, kind of as slow as you can while still maintaining balance. One other piece of information to convince you, you can try to put your foot into the bracing position, if that's your target. Foot is angled back a little bit like this, into the normal bracing position. But if all you're using is your core and your arm, this position is not good. This position, you're like basically stuck in. You can't get out of it. If you try to do a full throw, you force your foot into this position with just your arm and your core, and what you'll find is maybe you will hurt yourself. Your knee, your ankle, something's going to get hurt if you do that, because it doesn't want to be in that position at all. It wants having more of a straight step, and it wants the weight to be on the toe. That's what it wants when you're just using your core and your arm. There's nothing that transfers the force into the heel that allows you to rotate on your heel. Like it happens naturally when you're pulling with your lats, okay? Just like that. So again, hope that convinces you. Do those exercises and just get it really in the habit of just doing it all the time, so that it just becomes natural, so that then you can eventually add it to your row.